Community in Focus. I'm Q Lynn, and I'm checking in on the wheels that make FM 103.7 The Beat move. We're looking at Mr. Paul Allen here. And Paul, thank you for chatting with us on Community in Focus.
It is an honor to be next with Cute Lynn. And you are cute, too. That's a good title.
I'm only cute because God loves me and what I do.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, it has nothing to do with how I look. Cute is a lifestyle.
That's right.
Okay, so Paul, so what gave you the idea for radio?
Honestly, I was raised in this area on Baker Street, and about 6 blocks away from this particular building that we're in. And as a kid, I used to ride over here with my bike and just look inside and watch the DJ talk, and we'll see a tower in the back, and it was fascinating to me. And so that just kind of like piqued my interest to want to learn more about radio. In high school, I was allowed to play music over the intercom. I was allowed to DJ a lot of the dances, and I was allowed to, be a part of DECA and some of the performing arts that we had in school. So that is kind of spearheaded where I'm at right now.
Okay, so you were always interested in media and entertainment and the stage and everything. So where did you first start out in media?
I guess high school. I wrote for the Acorn magazine of Muskegon Heights. I had the top 10 songs. I was allowed to pick my top 10 songs in high school, and from there, I volunteered in Ann Arbor Public Radio. I volunteered in Omaha, Nebraska Public Radio. I helped WMRR, the rock and roll station here in Muskegon, open up. I played music there, and worked and volunteered at 95.3 in Muskegon. So I did a lot of internships, just learning the ins and outs of radio.
Can you tell Muskegon, what are your call letters, and why did you choose those?
WUVS. Please remember those call letters when the Arbitron books come out. Now, but still, WUVS. And it stands for Underground Video Show. I won't be here in radio if it wasn't for Underground Video Show, and that reached over 24 million households. And it kind of like opened up a lot of doors for me to meet people in media. There is a connection between TV and radio, so a lot of the promoters and the big record labels are kind of like connected together, and they helped me out a lot, getting me access to a lot of the top name artists, and really helped out a lot. So. Okay,
so what was your most exciting day here at 103.7 The Beat?
Probably flipping on that switch.
The first time you flicked the switch.
First time you flip on the switch, my comrade Robert Roundtree flicked on the switch, and I'm out listening, and to hear music go through the airways, not knowing what it's going to sound like, not knowing what kind of problems you'll run into. That was a huge adrenaline rush that you get, and I don't think there's never been a day that can even eclipse that day.
Okay, so how does your day start here at The Beat?
It starts at late night. My day at 12 o'clock. I'm working every night to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so you're kind of like P. Diddy?
Yeah,
you never sleep?
Never sleep. You can't sleep.
Okay, all right.
Because you are the first call for everything wrong within this organization. You're the first call from public safety. I get calls from might be police chief. I get calls from the superintendent of schools when there's school closing. I get calls, when there's a missing child, and so you never sleep when you in this kind of field.
Okay. Have you had any challenges in your format here from the community at 103.7 The Beat? I found it very entertaining. I was expecting a lot of rap, but I found it very informing. It was a lot of genres of music being played on here. It wasn't just a negative rap music as some of the community might. So have you received any challenges from the community concerning that?
No. And honestly, we make sure we don't program any rap music that is degrading women and using negative terms. And so we try to find a balance, though, being a community radio station. You're trying to service a broader audience. So we do day part gospel on Sundays, blues on Saturdays, and, jazz Sunday nights. And so you're trying to hit so many different demographics that's been underserved. And so research showed us certain days work better for certain programming. So we try to follow those guides.
And I see that you've done a lot of involvement with the youth. Can you explain a little of the involvement of the Beat with the youth?
Well, one of our main programs is our mentorship program, Mara Entertainment, which we call it now. And we've been operating that probably about 11 years, in which kids in high school and in middle school who have an admiration for communication and media are able to get firsthand experience of radio and broadcast, and so we offer that to local schools. Some have been able to take a class here where they're able to get a grade for communications.
Okay, and I also see that on the book, as Muskegon would call it, the Facebook, that you show a lot of your interest in African culture. Yeah. Can you give me a little bit about with your involvement with Africa?
First of all, I mean, growing up as a kid, I knew very little about the history of my roots, and so as I got older, Africa was always portrayed as a negative images when I was in high school. I didn't even want to be connected to it. All I saw was poverty. But after I got older and listened to some of the older rap songs from Public Enemy, throwing out the positive images of Africa and our contributions to civilization, it piqued my admiration and wanted to learn more. And as you get older and you travel there, you see that the images that we see here in America are totally the opposite of the images that you would see majority of the days in Africa. And so I do my best trying to promote the other side. Of course, there's poverty in Africa, but there's poverty in Muskegon Heights. There's crime in Africa, there's crime in Muskegon and throughout America. And so I think it's important that we be different than mainstream media and share information that is not commonly shared.
Okay, do you have any advice for those who have a passion for media work here in Muskegon? See, we're both from Muskegon, and what we're doing, hey.
Volunteer. If you love something, volunteer for it, and then the money will come. I never dreamed that I would be in this position or founder of a radio station, but my first admiration was volunteering. And people showed me the ropes, and if you love it, volunteer for it. It'll happen. Some of the big name talk show hosts, including the Michael Bazins of the world, they volunteered in big markets, right. New York. Right. Who would have thought that you had to volunteer in a market in New York, #1 market, at prime time? Right. But he volunteered for that, and it paid off. And so volunteer, offer your services, and willing to learn.
Okay. And what is the Beat's involvement in the community as a whole? I know the Beat, I see it everywhere, I hear it everywhere, but what is your involvement in any boards you sit on or?
Right. My involvement, I sit on West Michigan Therapy Board, Muskegon Community Correction Advisory Board. Also a board member of Trinity Housing, but I think our and a lot of our staff are active in their separate board operations, and to be here, you kind of like got to have a passion for helping people. So you tend to be connected with other organizations that kind of line up with your values, and so most of our staff here volunteer with other boards and have a passion for helping people.
Okay, so your other staff. I'm going to ask you a question about that. Who is the funniest staff member here at the Beat?
Wow, that's hard. We got everybody funny. This place is Def Jam comedy up here. I don't know.
I hear that on the radio. I hear that on the air. I was like, I wonder who wins.
Ray J is funny. Big Rob is funny. Rosie is funny. Catch her at the right time. Everybody's, because we're not on edge. We run this operation as a family. Let's have fun operation.
Right.
We try not to stress out. So when you stress out, production is low, and your turnover rate become high. So we try to have fun.
Okay.
I'm probably the funniest one up in here, though. Really.
That's what I was thinking. I kind of know the few of the people, but I kind of heard a joke or two come out of you.
I try to, they're trying to easing up everybody.
Okay, and then with that, who is the most serious?
Wow, I'm probably the most serious, too, because I can go to A to Z, huh?
Yeah, because you wear many hats around here. Can you recall some of the hats that you've worn since the station started?
I am the program director. I'm the chief advertising salesperson. I am the chief engineer. I am the IT department. I am the security department.
Founder.
Founder. I wear a lot of different hats because we're small. We don't have the big money to pay people for their services. So I'm forced to do different things. But that's okay. I knew that coming in that I have to do those things. So I don't say that as if I'm tired, don't like it.
Right.
I designed our website, and I take pride in this old guy who didn't have internet growing up. The computers weren't even out. I know about you. You're younger than me.
Yes, of course.
Computers wasn't out. And to be able to design websites now, I take pride in that kind of work.